Shalom. First of all, I'd like to start by giving all praises and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakar Kadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to the Archeim doing this work in sincerity and in truth. Once again, coming back at you with another quick video. Just a few precepts I've put together regarding Psalms 33 and 8, which reads, "Let all the earth fear the Lord. Let all the inhabitants of the world stand in awe of him." All right, and that time is coming where Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, the Lord, is going to return with the holy angels, and people are going to be in great fear. All right, and they're going to tremble at the strangeness of our salvation. All right, pertaining to Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. All right, it says, "Let all the earth fear the Lord." Why? Because it's going to be evident, and they're not going to be able to deny his coming or deny the existence, because pretty much everybody in the world talks about UFOs or have heard about them, but really they don't. They just have a level of doubt that they exist. Well, what people call the UFOs are really the spiritual vehicles that the angels travel in, and the Lord's coming in one great, giant, enormous ship, all right, or a chariot, if you will, a spiritual vehicle in which everybody will be able to see. So from here, let's go to Revelations, the 1st chapter and the 7th verse. It says, "Behold, he cometh with clouds," and the clouds talking about those chariots, "and every eye shall see him." And there you go. There's the answer. Every eye shall see him, man. All right. So no one's going to be able to deny his coming, or that he's there. No one's going to be walking and carrying on and, breaking bread and so forth. Everyone's going to be full of fear, and everyone's countenance is going to fall. "And they also which pierced him." All right. And that's something called reincarnation that's being spoken of here, because those guys that pierced the Lord were dead a long time ago. All right. Well, guess what? They're walking the earth today. Those same people that died, everything's recycled, man. And there's no difference between our us being recycled. All right. Just as in a quick example, when you go to the Old Testament and look in where is it? Ecclesiastes, the 1st chapter and the 9th verse. It says, "That thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done, it shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun." And that's clearly talking about us, man. We're not new upon this earth. All right, because generation comes and another generation goes. Now, when you go to Ecclesiastes, the 6th chapter, it confirms it. In the 10th verse, it says, "That which hath been is named already, and it is known that it is man." All right, so something called reincarnation, which means re-being back, incarnation meaning flesh. So we're back in the flesh and going back. That's why the scripture says the spirit of the prophets is subject to the prophets. So the prophets are walking the earth the same way that the Lord's enemies are walking the earth. And though some of those people that have a judgment to receive of the Lord, that are in the grave, they too will receive that judgment when the Lord comes. And we read that in Revelations, the 20th chapter. I'll read from the 11th verse. It says, "And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, right? That's talking about Yahweh Shai. And there was found no place for them, all right? So they're not going to be able to hide when the Lord returns. That's how enormous and great the company and the chariot that the Lord's going to be traveling in and with will be. It goes on to say, and I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God, and the books were opened. And another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books, according to their works. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and the death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them. All right, which death and hell is synonymous, and hell means the grave. All right, Sheol or Sheol, all right, which means grave. All right, that low place, that pit. And pretty much everyone that was dead, that hasn't come back in the flesh now, or those that are going to be resurrected, the Lord's basically going to give them judgment, man. All right, they're going to be woken up. So everybody that's dead is going to be resurrected to receive their judgment, man, when the Lord returns. So from here, I'm going to go to Psalm 76 and 8. Verse 8, it says, Thou didst cause judgment to be heard from heaven. The earth feared and was still. You see? So everyone's going to receive their judgment, the living and of the dead. And what you're going to find is there's going to be a lot of fear when they see that wrath and that serious look in the Lord's eyes, man. And no one's going to be able to withstand that judgment. And from my last scripture, let's go to Psalms chapter 2, verse 4. It says, He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, the Lord shall have them in derision. So all these nations, mainly the so-called white men, they're all going to be kept in derision, and they're not gonna have any way to withstand that judgment that's coming. All right, and the 2/3 also, man, they ain't gonna be able to get out of the situation. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure. And how's he going to speak unto them with that wrath? With those missiles, man. Those intercontinental ballistic missiles, and also the angels. When that judgment comes, and you can read that in the Apocrypha in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, that the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is coming, and there's going to be great fear and lamentation and woe on that return. And everybody who thinks they got away with their wickedness and evil upon earth, mainly speaking about the so-called white man, and then you 2/3 of the nation of Israel, and you nations, don't worry, man, judgment's coming. And when that judgment comes, death ain't even going to be able to hide you from your judgment. All right, so with that, till the next video, I'm going to say shalom.